Hello everybody, and this is Storm Gaming, but there's something different. Alright, so I changed my name to Too Hot, Too Cold for you. Yes, instead of B Master 1, um, I figured, I'm probably going to stick with this game for like a little bit, and it just sounds cool too. Hey, you kind of go with what you got, right? You kind of go with what you want. Alright, so today what I did is I played a lot of PvP. I also did some leveling up with my quirk right here. Now it's a 174, so I changed the stat points. Let me show you what I did. With the stat points, when I played the main boss, which is where I'm at, I had the stat points at like about 100 to 110. That allowed me to like at least kind of get away if he was really close. I'm probably going to keep this even when I fight the boss because I can use my skill 3, which is the ice slide. But this right here is what I'm using for the PvP, and let me tell you why. When I go in there, there's a buff for the speed, and unless you have OFA, unless you have an engine which naturally gives you a buff to go fast, everybody is going to go the same speed. Everybody's going to go the same speed. So it really doesn't matter. So I said, I'm not going to put anything in speed. It's just going to nerf it anyway. And for energy, all my moves don't consume the energy that much. And it's just going to go right back up. So why waste it? For defense, if you go too high, it's just going to nerf it all the way down. And the lower your level, you can't get to the max amount of defense, which in my other account where I had the max level, which is 220, I found out that it's a little above 500. Now, of course, with OFA, when you do the full cal, it goes over 600, but that's a totally different situation. Right now, at the level that I'm at, it's about if I kind of time it right, it's about 488 maybe. Right now, I believe I'm at about 460. But the truth is that high 400s, if you get hit and you get hit and you get hit and you get hit, you're kind of dead. So you want to be like in the 400s if you're past level 150. Now with my strength, aka my damage, 700 is actually pretty good. And let me tell you what I have learned when it comes to damage. Yes, the higher a number you put in there, the more it nerfs. The now what I have learned in PvP, obviously they're not going to give you this major damage, this one-shot um, ability that you can have in the in-game. Now, cream players are probably upset. OFA players are probably upset. Even half hot, half cold players like myself are upset because I got a increased damage buff, and it'd be nice to see how good it is, right? It'd be nice to see how good it is. Well, the fact is that it's PvP. The legendary stands are going to have more, but it shouldn't be so much more that it's going to take out every other quirk, right? That's just not how it should be. Let's try to get rid of that, and let's see if we can get rid of this. Okay, there we go. Alright, so what I found out though is that the higher number you put in there, yes, there is a nerf, but the increase, there actually is an increase of of a little bit. So I actually put 100 more, and there was an increase of like plus 15. So I don't know if every 100 more you actually get a plus 15 more. So that's something to think about too. It could be based on level, that every level you get so much. So that's something to think about. I've said before that I think damage obviously is based on level, that if you're at a higher level, it's going to do more damage than something at a lower level. But it can probably go hand in hand. Obviously, if you are at a higher level, you have more stat points. Something to think about. If you have 0 on speed, you're going to get a speed buff of 100. If you put too much on speed, anything over 110, 115, I think, it nerfs you. So you might as well put 0. And the thing is that there's going to be so many people coming at you or coming at someone else. Your strategy should be you're either going to run away or you're going to be running towards somebody. It's going to be a strategic game. Alright, so let me tell you what I learned today, which can probably help you out. I have half hot, half cold, and there were times today where I just did not want it. I was like, this guy is just not working out for me. I mean, it is a great quirk. I think it has a great skill set. It definitely needed to be buffed. Definitely needed to be buffed. But actually, what brought me back to it was there is a player in here, a very good player, and I had OFA, and there was a cream, and there were other good players. And in fact, this is when there was a bunch of pros. Always made the top 3 and won a couple times, and this person had half hot, half cold, and would dominate at times. I'm not just talking about like win by a couple hundred, I'm talking about win by a couple thousand. And I would just be like, wow, how's this person doing it? Because most of the time, when you have good to great players, they have things like cream and maybe OFA. I'm going to get away from this guy because he's seeing the S rank, he's seeing the villain, and I don't know why, but they are trying to goat me. And it's like, look, I got the S rank, I got a legendary, I could probably take you out, but that's not the point of the video. We'll make a video on 1v1s, and I'll show you if I can lose, win, what's better on quirks and things like that. Just very quickly, one of the quirks that's very bothersome, but's good, is Phoenix. If you have Phoenix and you learn it very well, you can do very well in a 1v1. It's really not good as a team player. It's really not. It does continuous damage, but it doesn't do a lot of continuous damage, and it heals itself. So, someone hits it, it does continue, it heals itself. So, it's more of a 1v1. Explosion too, it has skills to damage, but on a team setting, it helps the team, but it's kind of like there's better things out there. But there's some, but like the Shadow guy, that I gotta look at his skill set again, because that has some epic, like, killing. It's cool. It's very cool. Alright, so I'm looking at this skill set, and I'm like, I'm just not getting the points. I mean, I'm freezing people, I'm annoying people, people are writing in chat, that ice, I hate that ice. Now, they're talking about the lowest tier ice that Freddy Cougar uses, but they're also referring to my ice skills as well, because when you freeze people, you are stopping whatever they're doing, and you are lagging them, and you are allowing the player who iced you, and you are allowing other players to come in and killing you, and it sucks. Trust me, I was and am OFA, and when you are doing good and you get iced, it sucks. It sucks a lot. It sucks a lot. So I'm here. I have skill 4, and skill 4 can be held. That's cool. And I've learned about like how far like it can go, and I'm telling you, like, it can touch like a fingernail and your whole body's frozen. It is amazing at like how close you can be to this, and your whole body's frozen, and you're frozen for like 4 seconds. So what I do is I pull out my sword, right? And I never did this before, and the sword probably does, I don't know, regular damage there as it would do in here, so anywhere from like 13 and up. I can't remember if the higher level you are, the damage goes up. In there it does 13. I'll see what it does in here, and I'll see what it does as you level up, but I think it stays the same. But anyway, I freeze somebody, I can see who I froze, right? And I run, and I jump, and I go to that person, and before all I used to do is just wait until I can use skill 2, right? And that would waste some time. I use skill 2 and I would blast a person. Now I jump in there, I start swinging my sword. I get like a couple hits in, then I use my blast. So basically, before I use the fire blast, I already hit the person probably 2, 3 times. So let's round it down. 10 times 3, that's 30. That's 30 hit points that I got on the person. You do this throughout the game, you've not only gotten a lot of points. Now, in some servers, I've hit in the top line. In other servers, I've been in the top 3. But what HHHC right now for me, because I've learned this technique, I've been a very, very good team player, right? Now, people right now don't want to admit the whole team concept. They want to say, I'm OP, I'm MVP, I lost, but I got the most points. That's fine. That's cool. You do you do what you gotta do. I'm fine with that. The only time that I ever write something is when people want to throw around some haterade. Why do you gotta do that, man? Why? We're all there for the same reason. And the thing is when you hate on somebody in one round, the next round you may be friends with the person. Now, another thing that I found out is that let's say you're in a server and there's more than 2, maybe 3 or more, um, half hot, half cold. You got some people that could throw some freezing stuff or throw some fire like all the time. That's not good for the one-shotters. Things like OFA. That's not good for the one-shotters like a engine. HHHC is a good counter to engine if you know how to use it. If you see HHC coming and you do that freeze and you jump on it and you start smacking it, alright, even if it kills you, you go back out there, HHHC is going to find engine and it's going to do it again. It is going to bother engine to the point where engine is going to either like get upset and attack you, or it's going to avoid you. That I found out is one strategy to counter engine's persistence on killing you, is to get aggressive on engine. Okay, when you see someone learning engine, what you do is you start that. You basically tell a new engine player, look, you can go ahead and try. You've seen people, you've heard about how great engine is, but I got HHHC and I'm going to freeze you. And when I freeze you and I come up to you, I'm going to take half your health. And when I get back out there, I'm going to look for you and I'm going to freeze you. And even though other legendaries like Cream, which does a lot of damage, The thing with Cream is, yes, Cream can move back and forth. Cream has a good skill set. This individual, HHHC, and I'm just going to talk about the positives. HHHC, I don't do a lot of damage, but what I can do is I can freeze you, and then damage you, and then get the heck out. Okay? Freeze you, damage you, get the heck out. And skill 3 gets me the heck out. You could be fighting somebody and I could be behind you and I'll freeze you. That other person either kills you or I do some damage to you and I get some points. I may not come in first, but my goal has always been the top 3 and I'm still not at max HP. And I want to know if I can get 20 per hit. And let's say that I do 5 hits with my flame. That's 100. That's not bad. Alright, you guys take care. See you in the next video.